Welcome to Cord Cutting Today for September 18th, 2019. This is the show where I break down some of the biggest stories happening in the world of cord cutting right now and give you my opinion on them. If you want to learn more about these stories, in the show notes down below I'll put a link to each story in the order I talk about them so you can read about them for yourself, come up with your own opinions. We'd love to hear from you. If you're new here, hey, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button, hit that thumbs up. It really does help us because it lets YouTube know you enjoy what we're doing. And hopefully we can help you break free from the high cost of cable TV and still watch the shows you enjoy. Well, there's been a lot of news today, so let's dive into it. But don't forget to check out cordcuttersnews.com because a lot more stories are being posted over there than I've been able to cover here today because there's just so much news today. But I try to pick out the biggest stories to cover here on our YouTube channel. All right, let's start off with police in Europe have shut down an illegal IPTV system that, according to them, had 50 million subscribers. So overnight, U.S. time, police in Italy, the Netherlands, France, and Bulgaria raided a company called Extreme-Codes that ran a backbone service for IPTV. They sold a package of software which will allow anyone to create an IPTV service, and then they would be able to manage it and more. Now, police have claimed to taken over the service, cut off access to a reported 50 million subscribers from thousands of different IPTV services. What I find most interesting is in the video they posted online of the raid, they show them collecting hard drives and flash drives and more at these different locations. That probably means they may have gotten the identities because people are paying every month to use this to run their IPTV service for thousands of IPTV companies around the world. That this information could be used to now target them. What about subscribers? Do subscribers have access to that information, or do they have access to the subscribers' names and addresses? That's hard to know too. That's always the tough thing when you're using some of these services. When you give them your information, that's identifiable information of who you are. So it's very interesting major blow here to IPTV that they've gone from just trying to play a game of whack-a-mole, hey, we shut down these different IPTV services, to, hey, how can we actually go after the backbone that are running many of these? You may have noticed a lot of these look exactly the same. It's because according to the police, and innocent until proven guilty in a court of law, but according to the police, this site was running the backbone for it, selling its service to resellers who would go out there and then sell it to you, the end consumer, who are using the IPTV service. So it'll be interesting. They've taken over 200 servers offline in Germany, France, the Netherlands, and taken over 150 PayPal accounts also. This is a massive blow to IPTV. What I find most interesting here is 50 million people worldwide were subscribing to these services through this Extreme-Codes company. Compare that to the United States when traditional cable TV providers have less than 90 million subscribers. That's pretty significant. There's a lot of people. If we remember when Set TV Now, I think it was, got shut down here in the States last year, it actually had more subscribers than some legitimate streaming services, live TV streaming services in the United States. So these things are actually taking a major chunk of pay TV revenue. 50 million is not some small little percentage of people out there. So it'll be interesting to see what the long-term implications of this are. If your IPTV service suddenly stopped working, we've heard from some people saying that happened, it may be because of this raid. We probably won't know the long-term implications of this for months. Were they able to actually get the names and addresses of the people running these? Would this put some fear into other people who are saying, I'm going to go and pay for a service like this, when they fear that they could be arrested by the police, their hard drive seized, and your name could be listed as a reseller? It'll be interesting to see if this has any impact. So let me know what you think. Let me know if your IPTV service was shut down because of this. I'll be very interested to see the long-term implications on the industry as a whole for this. All right, next story up of the day. 98% of cord cutters say they will never go back to cable TV, according to a Roku study. Today, Roku released a massive study looking at streamers using Rokus and cord cutting in general. And according to them, 98% of Roku users who have cut the cord say they will never go back to cable TV. 2/3 of cord cutters say they wish they had cut the cord sooner. And they also say 74% of cord cutters say a streaming service is more convenient than traditional cable TV. So let me know. There's a lot of talk. Look, there's so many services, you might as well go back to cable. It's a big argument. I have not actually seen that within the cable or with the cord cutting industry. I mostly see that from, for instance, cable executives and people who work for major cable companies tweeting out, like CNN's entertainment reporter this week, tweeting out like, look at all these streaming services. Of course, he lists things like Showtime and HBO, services that you can't get with your basic cable subscription anyways, but that's another argument for another day. But let me know, are you one of the 98%? Are you part of the 2% that say they may go back to cable? And again, it was one of those things that just because the 2% said they may go back, it didn't say they intended to go back, just that they weren't completely opposed to the idea. So let me know what you think. There are, according to this, 3.5 million new cord cutters this year. That is a noticeable jump from 2018, and 2019 is not over yet. So cord cutting also, according to this survey, is growing faster. So let me know, would you ever go back to cable TV? Are you part of that 98%? Or are you part of the 2% that says they will? I'd love to hear from you. All right, one of the questions I get often, a lot of people don't like putting their credit card online. I understand that, always fear of it being stolen. A data breach we almost hear about every week now it seems like, where all these credit card numbers were stolen. Well, Amazon's heard from a lot of people with concerns about that. They will now allow you to pay with cash for your online purchases. So you check out, you put all your items in cart, you go through the checkout, you enter your shipping address. For payment, you can now click on their pay with cash option, which will allow you then to take a code or your phone number, go to a Western Union location anywhere, and pay with cash. Once you pay with cash, the order is approved and then it will ship. But it won't ship until you pay with cash. I think you get a couple of days to actually pay. I'm not sure on the exact time frame for that. But Amazon has been working to address the fact that some people don't have credit cards, some people don't have debit cards still. But even more importantly, some people are just generally concerned about giving Amazon their credit card because they're fearful of all these big data breaches they're hearing. So if you are one of those people and you would like to pay with cash, Amazon will now allow you to do that across the United States. And according to this, there's 15,000 Western Union locations. I think most Walmarts are also Western Union, a lot of big gas station chains and more. So check that out. Let me know if you ever used this service. How did it work for you? I'd love to hear from you. All right, Facebook announces a new streaming player called Portal TV. So Facebook's had a little chat device that you could put in your home, a lot like an Echo Show or Google Home, with a screen on it, and you could watch some videos on it. You could call your friends and family through Facebook. And now they've created a version of this for your TV called Portal TV. It starts at $149. It's available in the United States and Canada. Will begin shipping on November 5th. And includes access to Showtime, CBS All Access, Starz, Pluto TV, and Red Bull TV. To expect more services to come. You can also get music services through it like Spotify, Pandora, iHeartRadio, and more. So this is Facebook moving in to try to compete in the set-top box space. The big thing I think they'll be held back by here is noticeable lack of streaming services right now. I don't see Amazon listed, I don't see Hulu listed, or Netflix listed, for example. That's a huge drawback, which probably means you'll still need a streaming player there. But the camera system on this is pretty impressive. It's a nice ability to say, hey, I'm going to chat through Facebook Messenger, and on my TV, my kids can call grandpa and grandma, pictures on the wall, we can talk and interact that way. So there is something here for this. There is the ability to say, hey, there is a real selling point to having that video communication on your TV and an easy to use device through Facebook. Facebook does say, though, we understand that there's privacy concerns. They have a huge section about how you can control your privacy, disable the camera, disable the microphone when you don't want it. A lot of people, understandably, have been skeptical of Facebook's privacy, and Facebook wanted to make sure right off the bat that they offered strong privacy protections through this. So if you want to learn more about Facebook Portal TV, link in the show notes down below. All right, Speaking of another streaming player, Comcast earlier this year announced a Roku-like streaming player called Xfinity Flex. This streaming player was $5 a month and streamed many popular streaming services using their Xfinity One interface. It was basically a cable box without the cable. Of course, you could subscribe to their streaming service, their Xfinity TV streaming packages through it also. Now they've announced that if you're a Comcast Internet customer, you can get this streaming player for free. There's no longer a $5 a month cost for this device. Maybe in response to two things. First of all, they're launching NBC Universal's new streaming service next year, Peacock. They're probably hoping that they can get a huge number of people to use their streaming player and then have the Peacock service be heavily promoted through it. Second, I wonder how successful this was. You know, the Xfinity Flex really does not, to my knowledge, do anything a Roku, Apple TV, or Fire TV can't, but it was charging you $5 a month to do it. Now with this change here, it makes that player a much more competitive service. Of course, Comcast now gets the data from it where they can say, hey, what are people watching? What are people using this for? They can serve ads through it and make some money that way. So it'll be kind of interesting move. Does anyone here own a Xfinity Flex? It only works if you have the Comcast Internet. I don't have Comcast Internet, so I have not been able to test it. But let me know what you think. If you've been able to use this, I'd love to hear from you. All right, next story up of the day. One of the big questions I get is now with AT&T TV Now, how is it compared to other services out there? Jess has done a side-by-side comparison of AT&T TV Now versus Hulu with Live TV. If you've been comparing or considering getting one or the other, make sure to check down in the show notes down below for her comparison chart. Also, real quick note, I had been hearing some complaints about YouTube TV's DVR not recording certain shows, especially with local programming, evening news, special locally scheduled programs. YouTube has come out and said, hey, we've identified that problem, we apologize. If you were not getting your recordings since earlier in September for your local programming, they fixed it and they were able for most people to restore the lost recordings. So good news, if you had a YouTube TV not recording your evening news, for example, that should be fixed. Your recordings should now reappear. They say if you're still not being able to record your evening news or other programming, to contact YouTube TV customer service there. All right, and last story up of the day. I've been getting a lot of questions. So Amazon has a big event next week on the 25th where they're going to be announcing new hardware. Starting to look like we may get maybe a new Fire TV Stick or maybe even a Fire TV Recast. Conveniently, both Fire TV Stick and the Amazon Recast are on sale right now at very good prices. Especially if you qualify for the discount code for the Fire TV Stick 4K, you can get the Fire TV Stick 4K for the same price it was on Amazon Prime Day earlier this year of $24.99. Otherwise, it's available for $34.99, down from $49.99. So that's a really good price for a very powerful streaming player with the Fire TV Stick 4K. But with a new Fire TV coming next week, maybe, should you wait? Honestly, with my thoughts around this is if you really need a streaming player right now, the Fire TV Stick 4K especially is what I would recommend you get. Is if you want a Fire TV, is an excellent streaming player at an excellent price right now. But if you didn't need a streaming player right now and you can wait, I would wait and try to see what they announce next week. Maybe you lose out on saving $15 if you only qualify for the $34.99 deal. But maybe you're going to be able to get a new Fire TV Stick with that. So keep that in mind. A lot of people have been asking, should you get the new the current Fire TV Stick or maybe wait? With it being a week, if you don't need it and $15 won't break the bank, maybe wait. Honestly though, I don't think you're going to be disappointed if you pull the trigger and take advantage of this Amazon sale this week. So keep that in mind. All right, so that's it for today. Hope everybody had a fantastic Monday. I hope your Tuesday is going to be spectacular. I'll be back tomorrow with more cord cutting news, tips, tricks, and reviews. So make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit that thumbs up. It really does help us. We really appreciate it.